Saturday. It's in the middle of state shutdown, and you know, the whole COVID-19 deal. But we're gonna get out and do something kind of fun today. So, got access to something that hopefully will become a regular thing until the state, you know, totally opens back up. But we're gonna go do a thing today. Stay tuned. This should be fun. I'm not expecting anything big. It's mid 50s today, so sun's out though, but it's gonna be windy, and I got some things I gotta check out. But hopefully this is kind of fun for you to see during this mess that's going on. So hopefully it's something fun, you like it. So check this out. So I was just thinking while I'm driving here, I'm going ahead and get the trailer washed because it looks like absolute crap. I don't think I've washed the thing in a year and a half. But I hope what I'm doing today, and I'm going to try to video as much of this as I can, but we'll see how it goes. I hope it kind of goes to show that what we do as racers is almost the perfect form of social isolation while still doing something cool. So I hope you get a kick out of this. I think it'll be cool. Check it out. So I put a really soft tune-up in this thing. I'm going to leave it 7,000 RPM, and I'm going to leave on 7 pounds of boost, which is about half of what I would like to be at. But with it as cold as it is and track not being great, pretty fresh for the year, we'll see what happens. Just clearing up my data logger right now, so that's all cleared out. So you can see we're social distancing. There's like 15 people here. It's pretty fun. Bike's running really good actually. So we'll go try and make another pass here shortly. So that's going to be it for today. Got 3 passes in. Last one I actually knocked the tire off at the hit. I got a pretty good video of that one on board. But knocked the tire off, rolled back into it, still went 173 miles an hour on my 16-pound tune-up. It's like the softest one I have right now. Looking forward to doing this again. Hopefully this is a regular thing, but we've been down here for 5 hours. And the social distancing is in full effect. I don't think we've been within 20 feet of anybody here. So it's possible.
So check this out. After the last pass I made, which was the only one I managed to remember to turn the data logger on for, I got to actually get data from the tire temp sensor and the shock sensor. So it's pretty cool that actually now I can get an idea how this is going to act and what it's going to do and what to look for. But what's kind of cool is if I scroll down here on the side, I've already turned on rear shock and tire temperature, and that's these two graphs down here, these two purple lines, like light purple and dark purple. So if I highlight shock, makes that one bold, so there's my rear shock. And then if I highlight tire temperature, that's the other one, the tire temp. Well, in that pass, if you look up here at my green line, that's RPM. So you can see where when it's on the two-step is where this light blue area is. So then it comes off the two-step basically when I throw the lever away, and you can see where the RPM spikes. It hit the tire instantly. I got out of the throttle, chopped TPS drops, and then rolled back into it. You can kind of see I'm feathering it. Let's scroll up and highlight that one so it makes a little more sense. So there's TPS. So you can see where I was at 100% throttle here. It spun the tire, I chopped the throttle. Then I kind of was getting back into it, getting into it, and then rolled back into it here about almost 2 3/4, almost 3 seconds into the run. I was actually back to full throttle. And that's actually, it hit full boost 4 seconds into the run. But that was 16 pounds max. So I'll show you that so you believe me here. So that's this dark brown line here is my boost throughout the run. You can see I'm on the two-step here. It's at 10 pounds. Spins the tire, chop the throttle, drops boost, and it starts building. So right in through here is where you see my boost flattens out. So there's my boost through the run after I rolled into it. And that number down here, 15.46. So 15.5 pounds is all it saw. But back to the tire temp thing and shock I was showing you. So we got these turned on. So if you look here, when it spun the tire, RPM spiked up, it spun the tire. That goes right along with my tire temp. So tire temp here was only 86 or 87 degrees on the line. Then when it spun the tire here, the temp wicked up and spiked 280 degrees. So that was just kind of an instant, got a bunch of heat right away. Wasn't a consistent, like a burnout type heat where it stayed in the tire for a second. So it just built a bunch of heat instantly. You can see the tire cools off down here. So temperature drops back down to 165 or so. And then it stays pretty flat throughout the run. And then right down here, so this other line I was talking about, that's my shock. So I'll highlight that quick. That's the shock. So you can see where it hit the tire, it bounced the shock, or compressed the shock, it rebounded. Then as I rolled into the throttle, back end bike started to squat a little bit. So it's putting some power down, hooking up. And then this is the shock throughout the run, kind of bumping and moving around. But if you look, that graph, as jagged as it is, it starts to come back up. So the shock is actually rebounding towards the end of the pass. But watch this. Tire temperature. The tire temperature starts to climb at the end of the pass. So here's my gears. There's first gear, second gear, third, fourth, and at fifth and sixth, it was jagged. It was starting to, RPMs were bouncing around. It was starting to spin the tire. Well, down here, it shows that it was spinning the tire bad enough that it was actually gaining tire temperature as the shock was unloading it. So if I look over here, my temp is climbing to 163, 170, 188, 189. By the time I lifted partway through sixth gear, the tire was over 200 degrees. So kind of some cool data that you actually can get out of these things. I got some ideas of what I want to change on the bike. Now that I can see what the thing is doing, I don't have to go back and try to replay the stuff in my head and make sense of, well, I think it did this or I think it did that. The goddamn thing is showing me what it did. Now I know what I need to change on this thing. And it's things I've been wanting to try for a while, but now I got confirmation on what's going on. So kind of cool. That's how you get a kick out of that. But here's the time slip from that pass. So you can kind of see where I blew the tire off. I went 1960 foot. Was only 6.1 to the eighth at 139. It went out the back. It went 890 at 173. Yeah, so it's making steam. And I also fixed what I should have explained here when I highlighted my boost. Last year I had so this one here, boost. Oop, I turned it off. I'll turn it back on. This dark brown line here is my boost. Notice after I got back into the throttle, it stays on target, like really nice and smooth here. Last year I was running a Chinese knockoff tile wastegate. It worked in the sense that it got me making passes, but that boost curve used to look like my RPM, like my shift graph. And I always kind of thought in the back of my mind that wastegate was sticking because it would overboost and then it would way underboost, and it would just kept chasing up and down throughout the run. It never hit target and maintained it. I think what was happening is, being that it was a cheap piece of shit, I think it would go closed, it would build boost, and it was so slow or sticking that it would overboost, and then it would finally blow open and dump all the boost. Then it would fucking close, and then it would build boost again, overboost, and stick. So it was just going between closed, then open and stuck, and closed and stuck, and open and stuck. So this year I got a nice Turbo Smart, a high pressure gas wastegate, and goddamn, with the first data log I get, my boost is smooth. I changed nothing else. This is a tune-up that I was running last year. This is the softest tune-up I got in the bike. Just because the track was iffy yesterday. I didn't want to, I was going to get minimal passes. I didn't want to change a bunch of crap to chase a crappy track. But yeah, I was pretty stoked to see that even on a crappy pass, I still got data that proved my wastegate's working right now. So pretty cool. Hopefully I'll get back out and test this thing later. Well, later as in maybe later this season yet. We'll see how it goes. So hope you enjoyed. Talk to you later.